Hello, and thank you for joining me today. My name is Jamie Wise, and I am the Dedicated Wellbeing Services Program Manager with WebMD, here to present on well-rounded fitness. WebMD is honored to be partnering with SmartHealth in 2024, and we are thrilled to be bringing new informational webinars to support the health and wellness of all State of Washington employees. Additionally, look forward to some upcoming new activities and challenges this year, one we will be talking through more today. For closed captioning options, please take a moment here to review the instructions and enable closed captioning within either Google Chrome or on your mobile device. So you can take a look at the screen here for those Google Chrome instructions, and then with a mobile device, go ahead and search for closed captioning for an iPhone or closed captioning for Android. This webinar will also be recorded. Our objectives for today are to highlight the benefits of different fitness components for overall health, looking closely at the benefits and the guidelines. Then we will evaluate fitness trends and popularity. And then the next, and finally, learn about different SmartHealth Invitational Team Steps challenges and the Washington Moves event. Please note, always consult with your physician before beginning any exercise program. This is general information and it is not meant to replace your healthcare professional. If you experience any pain or difficulty with these exercises, stop and consult with your healthcare provider. All right, so let's get started. So there are many ways to be healthy. And today we will be focusing on some very specific types of movement and fitness, because staying physically active may help us stay healthier and move easier as we age. This is by no means an exhaustive review of ways to move or ways to stay healthy. So we are just glad you're here, and we hope that this is a meaningful learning opportunity for you, no matter your level of fitness. We're going to look at the benefits of 3 types of fitness today, so that being strength training, cardiovascular exercise, and flexibility. I'll introduce them, and then we will dive a bit deeper into each to talk about how to actually reach those benefits. So looking first at strength training or resistance exercises. So these exercises can help to maintain strong bones and help you reach and stay at a higher level of functioning. With strength training, we may also see improvements with mental health, blood pressure values, and just overall quality of life, even with chronic conditions. Resistance exercises can include the use of machine or free weights, exercise balls, hand weights or bands, different types of exercises such as Pilates, and then body weight exercises. Cardiovascular exercise helps improve heart and lung function. So anything that gets your heart beating faster counts. So you can think walking, swimming, shoveling snow, rowing, dancing. Cardiovascular exercise may also reduce the risk of chronic or long-term conditions such as diabetes, heart disease, hypertension, or high cholesterol. It may also reduce stress and improve the quality of your sleep, and maintaining a higher level of cardiovascular fitness may just be beneficial with movement, strength, and flexibility overall. Flexibility is an important fitness component that helps keep your range of motion, or that degree to which you're able to move your joints pain-free. So you can think about ankle or arm circles, lunges, stretching out different parts of the body, being able to move more freely, especially when performing sports activities or different exercises, or even just daily chores around the house. Stretching is also a really great way to both begin and end a workout, which we will talk about a little bit later. Okay, so now let's take a look at the guidelines for each. So, high-level overview of exercise guidelines set by the US Department of Health and Human Services. So, cardiovascular exercise each week, the recommendation is 150 to 300 minutes of moderate intensity or 75 to 150 minutes of vigorous intensity exercise. Strength training would be 2 to 3 times a week for overall body training. And then flexibility training is 2 to 3 days a week for range of motion. And I do want to call out that image on the right side. I think it's just a nice way to take a look at those recommendations. And also to note at the bottom, if you're tight on time this week or just not feeling it, start with just 5 minutes because it does add up. It's about those small additions of movement in your day. Now, digging deeper into how to reap the benefits. So, frequency of strength training. So, training all the major muscle groups at least 2 times per week has been shown to be superior than just 1 time per week. However, you do need to allow those muscles 48 hours to recover before training again. So, training upper body one day, followed by a day of training the lower body, would be an example of how you might structure your workout to meet frequency and recovery needs. Your upper body will be recovering while you train your lower body and vice versa. Now the sets and repetitions. So set ranges can help you decide the weights you should use. So if you can't reach 3 sets, maybe it's too heavy. If you can reach 4 sets pretty easily, maybe that's too easy, right? So there's a good chart on the screen here. 10 to 15 repetitions is a good place to start for most adults. 8 to 12 repetitions may have some added benefits for strength as you will be using a heavier load. For older adults, it may be better from a risk-reward standpoint to stay with a lighter load and higher repetitions, so think 10 to 15 repetitions, especially if just starting a strength training routine. And for those wanting to train for endurance, 15 to 25 reps is a good place to start. And please note here, higher reps do not promote toning, they actually promote endurance. So again, those rep ranges can help you decide the weights you should use. So if you can't reach those 8 reps, maybe too heavy. If you can reach the 12 reps, maybe way too easy. All right, and then in terms of the starting weight, it's a common question people ask, and it's really individual. It depends on your strength training goals and your abilities. Always start light. You can add more weight if needed. So learn that technique, learn that form first with no weight, and then after getting a good feel, slowly add more weight. You should be able to do 8 to 15 repetitions in comfort. Those last few reps should be difficult to complete. So check your form. If it breaks down with more weight, just go ahead and remove some. Once it gets easier and with proper form and a full set's complete, then maybe you add more weight. So if you want to increase that lean mass or muscle, you'll want to stick to the lower 6 to 12 rep range and use a heavier weight, hitting most of those major muscle groups. Okay, and then cardiovascular exercise. So frequency and key guidelines here. So we see most health benefits with that 150 minutes of moderate intensity or 75 minutes of vigorous intensity per week. So a key guideline for older adults or really anyone with a physical limitation who can't reach those 150 minutes of moderate intensive aerobic activity a week, just aim to be as physically active as your abilities allow. Movement should be personalized to fit you and your needs. So modifications may often be needed, whether you're pregnant, postpartum, have chronic conditions. Really, we want to personalize this to you. Okay, on to flexibility guidelines. Now there are 2 types of stretching. There's dynamic stretching, which requires the use of continuous movement patterns that mimic an exercise or a sport to be performed. And the purpose here is really to improve flexibility for a given sport or activity. So for example, tennis, a straight leg march, trunk rotations, a knee to chest tuck, progressive arm circles, a side shuffle, butt kicks, leg swings, mountain climbers. Those are all those kinds of movements that get you prepared for playing tennis. And then static stretching, this would be the most common type of stretching. So this is extending a targeted muscle group to a max point and holding it for 30 seconds or more. Now, everyone knows what static stretching is. We tend to do it all the time, but a lot of people perform static stretching before exercise, and research is actually showing that we should save that for after exercise. Now, let's go ahead and change gears and talk about some of today's fitness trends. So first up, high intensity interval training. So these HIIT workouts generally combine short bursts of intense exercise with periods of rest or lower intensity exercise. This can be at fitness studios or online, and the workouts often mix aerobic and resistance training. So what differentiates HIIT from a steady state continuous type of exercise, like jogging or even pace walking, for example? It's those intervals, so those periods of heart pounding intensity. So what are the benefits here? Can improve cardiovascular health, may decrease fasting insulin and increase insulin sensitivity. How do you do it? Well, go ahead and choose an aerobic exercise like stationary biking. Warm up for 5 minutes and perform just a few alternating speed and recovery intervals. 3 to 4 of each should be plenty and will give you a feel for it. And then you could finish with an easy cool down. Now, the question is it safe? High intensity exercise of any type really brings with it a higher risk of musculoskeletal injury and cardiac events. But along with healthy subjects, HIIT has been studied as a training method for people with heart disease and congestive heart failure. So under clinical supervision, subjects were able to tolerate high intensity intervals without negative effects. And most importantly, they experienced bigger improvements in cardiovascular function compared to those undergoing continuous moderate intensity training. Bottom line here, HIIT may or may not be safe for you, so definitely check with your healthcare provider before adding it to your exercise plan. Challenging workouts, a few different ones listed here. The first one, Tabata training. So these are workouts that combine everything from plyometrics to traditional resistance training exercises. It's a time-efficient approach to exercise that can provide a total body workout experience and fit into a busy schedule. So you want to allow at least 48 to 72 hours of rest between each Tabata session. Each exercise in a given Tabata workout lasts only 4 minutes, and the structure of the program is that you work out hard for 20 seconds, then you rest for 10 seconds, then you complete 8 rounds, and you push yourself as hard as you can for 20 seconds and rest for 10 seconds, and that is 1 set. And you'll complete 8 sets of each exercise. You can pretty much do any exercise you wish. You could do squats, push-ups, burpees, or any other exercise that works for you, your abilities, and your large muscle groups. Kettlebell exercises also work great here too. Supersets, this is opposite work and rest. So when the first muscle contracts, the opposite muscle relaxes, which gives it time to rest before you switch to the second exercise. And during the second exercise, that first muscle relaxes and the opposite muscle contracts. This is also a very time-efficient exercise. You have back-to-back sets, which reduces the total workout time while still performing the same amount of work as a single set. The cardiovascular component here. So by minimizing those rest periods between exercises, you'll actually extend the amount of time spent lifting, which will keep the heart rate elevated for a longer period of time for increased overall conditioning. And then circuit training. For this one, you get the benefits of muscle building and toning along with an intense cardio workout. So you'll move quickly through 8 to 10 exercise stations to work different muscle groups with little to no rest between stations. And then each station has a different exercise. So you may do bicep curls or jump rope for 60 seconds, and you'll want to allow at least 20 to 30 minutes for the workout. Okay, so wearable technology. Now we have come a long way from tracking our steps. Now we have access to technology that provides in detail, and some might argue too much detail, a variety of different aspects of our daily habits. So depending on your preference and what's important for you to track, there are many different options available. There's growing evidence that may help you achieve wellness and fitness goals. So for example, in a preliminary 2019 study at the University of Alabama, there was a group of 40 people aged 60 or older who were at risk for heart disease. They were recruited to participate in an exercise program. All received counseling about fitness, and then half of the participants received a Fitbit. Now, the study found that people in both groups exercised the same amount, yet the Fitbit users got nearly 2,000 more steps per day since they spent less non-exercise time sitting down. Tests showed that blood pressure dropped more among those Fitbit users as well. So if you like numbers and you like charts and graphs, this can be a really detailed approach to managing your health. I will say it can be easy to get caught up in the amount of information available though, and it can lead to negatively fixating on a certain health area. So take a step back and look at your health holistically. I think what's great is that you can recognize patterns and then determine what you would like to see change around those patterns. So I think it can be a really good tool for increasing overall wellness, but we do need to take it slow and look at things holistically. At home exercising. So we all know having the ability to exercise at home is not a new concept. It's been around for quite a while, but I would say it's extremely popular now. There's no shortage of options when it comes to the type of equipment you can use and the costs. And you can just see some of those things available on the screen there. Online exercise classes. So available content online in all different types of formats has really exploded over the past few years. So there are a variety of formats to take advantage of. Like for example, if you want to join a live group for a social connection, or you prefer to access a quick class when it's most convenient for you during the day, or you already have equipment at home and you just want to follow a structured program online, right? Lots of different options. However, beware. When you're coming across free content, find programming that offers modifications for exercise safety. Look at the quality of the workout program with the class design. Does it have a warm-up? Does it have a cool down? Do you need to add your own? Consider the tone of the workout messages as well. Ask yourself if the instructor is constructively building you up and guiding you towards your health and fitness goals, or are they belittling or promoting body shaming? Really note if there are promotional products being advertised that aren't necessarily even needed to complete a workout. So really a few different things to be aware of when you're choosing that exercise class. And then depending on your exercise preference and how long you want to spend on your routine, you can find Zumba or stretching workouts, step aerobics, kickboxing, dance classes. There are just a plethora of options out there that can really keep things fresh and new with your online workout routine. And then outdoor activities, also not necessarily a new concept, but recent research shows that outdoor exercise increases participant adherence, enjoyment, and exercise-related satisfaction. So various outdoor settings can be used. Think parks, stadiums, your backyard, as just potential training sites. This has also been defined as green exercise, which may improve your mood and self-esteem in as little as 5 minutes and help reduce feelings of tension, anger, and depression. Other outdoor activities to consider, maybe roller skating, pickleball, quite popular, disc golf, or even geocaching. Lots of different options. And then recovery. This is a great one. So it's an emerging trend focusing on your recovery efforts between workout sessions to really enhance exercise performance. So it helps to create a holistic mindset that other factors like sleeping, nutrition, those things can affect your body's ability to recover and get stronger. So there is an increasing number of tools available to help promote circulation, relaxation, while also aiming to limit soreness or tight muscles. So you can think foam rollers, stretching stations, massage tools, ice pack rollers, thermal blankets, the list goes on. Okay, so we have covered a variety of ways to stay engaged with your fitness routine. And the landscape has changed with how and where we can exercise, whether it's inside, outside, at home, in a gym, with other people, as a hobby. Virtually anywhere can be a good place and space to stay active. So some things to think about, maybe jot down. Find that internal motivation, maybe list a few motivators out that may help you stick with exercise for longer. Don't do too much too soon, right? That may increase your chance of injury. If you're sore, tired, you may be left feeling discouraged if you start with too much too soon. So again, start small. Start with 10 minutes and build upon that. You don't have to aim for those recommendations right off the bat. And then mix it up. As we went through today, there are so many different types of workouts out there to keep things interesting and to work different muscle groups. So switch between machines, free weight, elliptical, stair stepper, switch it up. It doesn't have to be the same thing every week. Maybe bring a friend to work out with. Sometimes a partner can steer you from not going to the gym. Maybe it's someone who's waiting for you at the gym. It's harder to bail on that friend who's there. And maybe you'll work out longer with that. And then again, just thinking about going small. So the recommendation, 150 minutes per week, that 30 minutes, 5 days a week for cardiovascular exercise and strength training at 2 days a week, break it up. Do a 10 to 15 minute increment during the day. Do a little bit at home, in your living room, do a little bit at the gym, whatever works best for you. Again, it's all about personalizing it to make it fit your needs, abilities, space, and time. All right, so upcoming movement opportunities that we all could check out. All right, the big one, the Invitational. So this is a 5-week team-based movement challenge that will help you discover or rediscover the joy of movement and connect with others in a spirit of friendly competition. So you will join a 5-person team and track steps between April 10th to May 14th. Your team will compete against a new team each week, and the team with the most steps each week wins. So you can walk, you can dance, bike, swim, stay active any way you like. And then what you'll be doing is tracking your steps or other physical activity for at least 5 days during each weekly round. And you can earn points here, 50 points per round, up to a total of 250 points over the 5-week period within SmartHealth. So the Invitational has the warm-up round, which is right now, and then 5 competition rounds. So that warm-up round goes from now until the 9th of April. And during that time, you can start recording your steps. You can learn about existing walking habits in preparation for the challenge. We're also in the Million Steps Challenge too, which you could sign up for as well. And then the competition rounds, those will start on the 10th of April. It's following the warm-up round, and then you will be placed in those head-to-head competitions with other teams using a smart matchup technology. So what that means is that teams are paired against other teams with similar step levels to encourage a more motivating environment. A few more details here. Registration is required. So the challenge will be available at the top of your homepage for the duration of the challenge. You can do this from your SmartHealth dashboard, whether on your desktop or on the Wellness at Your Side app, using that connection code SmartHealth when you sign up. So you can track steps with a device automatically, or you can manually convert activity minutes to steps. One other plug I'll put in here is join community. If you haven't checked it out already on SmartHealth, it's a great opportunity to connect with others and hear more what other people are doing during the challenge. Okay, and then Washington Moves events. So with this one, you can boost your physical and mental health, reduce stress levels, and earn 200 SmartHealth points by participating in the Washington Moves event. This event goes from April 15th through April 26th. Any movement that gets you breathing harder and your heart beating faster for about 25 minutes at a time counts. So plug here, any activity you do with Washington Moves can also count towards your invitational challenge movement as well. With that, thank you so much for joining today. I hope you enjoyed the well-rounded fitness presentation, and I do hope you can join us in the upcoming movement opportunities. Be well.